The Comórtas Peile Páidi O'Shea is sponsored by Lidl and it'll take place on the 24th to the 26th of February. It's also supported by ejmenswear.com, Udros na Gaeltachta and Kerry County Council. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Kerry's Gavin White. How's it going, Gavin?
Good, no, good. How are you?
Not too bad, all is good. So you were just telling me that you're currently out with injury at the minute.
Yeah, still injured, unfortunately. Haven't put on a pair of boots since the All-Ireland final. So started with running last week and just tipped me at my rehab. So hopefully we'll see a bit of action towards the end of the league.
That's good that you're getting back into it, because I remember the All-Ireland, it was touch and go, how you were going to be, if you were going to play or not. So yeah, it's been a long road for you.
Yeah, I suppose about 5 months ago now. The last 5 months have flown by, really, when you think about it. But yeah, I suppose I got injured in that Dublin game, and it was a very shaky 2 weeks, very stressful 2 weeks from my point of view. A lot of recovery and a lot of kind of rehab to do to get myself right for the All-Ireland final. And I don't know how I got through the game, but I got through the game, thankfully, and forever grateful for that. But no, haven't done anything since. Did a small running last week, but apart from that, that's all I've done. Obviously missed my whole club campaign, which is disappointing. But look, that's the highs and lows of sport, I suppose, in a nutshell there for you.
Yeah, I remember you went down in that Dublin game, and it was at that point people were wondering if you would get back in for the All-Ireland final. Was it a case that physios and doctors said you could do more damage here if you go out and play this All-Ireland, or it's up to yourself sort of thing? What was it like?
Yeah, I suppose whenever you got injury, whenever any player gets injured, and it might be a major injury, there might be comments going on say as well, if it's not Ireland final, I'd play. And that was the scenario. That was the exact scenario. Did I make it worse? Yeah, a whole pile worse. But obviously it was worse in the end. And in fairness, look, the two boys, Jimmy and Páidi, did huge work for me in the lead up into that game, and right up to throwing the huge work on my knees to get myself right for that game. And thanks to God, as I said, I don't know how we got through. I suppose the excitement and the adrenaline that got me through the whole game. Felt it towards the very, very end, but thankfully there were 72, 73 minutes on the clock. I was able to just kind of get through the last couple of minutes of the game. But yeah, no, as I say, it would have been sickening to miss an All-Ireland final of that magnitude. So I'm forever grateful for all the physio and all the strength and conditioning work that's been working with me with Kerry down through the years, and this year in particular, to get the final over the line.
Yeah, can you bring me back there to what it was like to finally get over the line? Obviously against Dublin in that All-Ireland semi-final, that was the big one, to get over Dublin after so many years and then to go on and finally win this All-Ireland. What was that like for you?
Yeah, look, it was absolutely extraordinary. I suppose as a young player, that's all you want to do, especially going up in Kerry. That's all you want to do. You want to play in Croke Park, number one, and represent your county. But to finally get over the line, and to lift Sam and walk the Hogan steps, look, it's very, very special. It's surreal in some ways. To describe them one word would be absolutely impossible. There's so many emotions going through your head. You don't know whether to cry or to laugh. There was just so much emotions going through your mind in that particular point. At the final whistle against Galway. But I suppose even the weeks after the Ireland final, when you see the cup being paraded around the place, I suppose the homecomings in Tralee and Clarny were unbelievable. But even small things like bringing the cup out to your own club or to your own house, so much emotions coming to your head. Very, very special, especially the first one. Hopefully there'll be a few more in the next couple of years. But like, you're not going to take anything for granted. Very, very special, and hopefully we'll get to experience something like that again.
Yeah, it's quite funny when you win an All-Ireland, like 80,000 people are watching on, and then you go back to your small club. The GA is funny like that. Then you go back to, teaching in a school. So it's probably a mad feeling to go from such a high to back into school then and just teach as normal.
Yeah, I suppose we were lucky enough that the way the structure was with the split season this year, that we had kind of had a month after to kind of celebrate, number one, but also kind of get your feet back on the ground and get back to real life. Obviously get back into the club. So from my point of view, I went straight under the knife in the century to get the operation done. So I missed maybe the first 4 or 5 weeks of school. So I had a bit of a period there after the All-Ireland final where obviously with the celebration, went away on the holiday, but also to get the rehab started for next year.
And talking about next year, we're we're here now. So what has that been like? Have you been in and around the squad at all? Obviously being injured, do you go to the trainings, do you watch on, or are you completely separate doing your own rehab?
Yeah, no, I've been in a lot of training. I suppose haven't seen a whole pile of training because obviously I've plenty of work to do myself inside the gym, so I don't get to see much action out on the pitch. But no, look, as I say, I've been back running since last week, doing small bits, nothing major, unfortunately. Still doing a lot of bike work and a lot of swimming and stuff like that to keep my fitness up as best I can. But no, looking, I suppose over the next couple of weeks, I'm looking to kind of get back up, get my load up myself, running by myself, and hopefully get back into a group scenario again, please God.
And for the team then, you faced Donegal this weekend in Ballybuffet, the first round of the league. And Kerry are going to be missing 10 of the All-Ireland starters for the league openers. So they're really going to have to call on, I suppose, the strength and depth within the panel because there is so many out with the club action only finishing up and with injuries as well.
Yeah, I suppose we picked up a lot of injuries. I suppose over the last couple of weeks, I suppose. And then you have, I suppose, two Cliffords who just after the Foster campaign, and the Ratmore lads who were after their campaign as well, and a couple of Ratleys lads. So look, it's going to be difficult, but I think that's going to be a common theme throughout this year for every county in the country. I only looked at the fixture list this year, or I suppose I looked at the fixture list there at the start of the year for the whole year, and look, as soon as this weekend kicks off, it's fairly bumper to bumper. So it's I suppose for every county, and I suppose we're going through that at the moment. It's just about keeping injury free, and as you say, your depth in the squad is going to be hugely important for everyone around the country. But look, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be interesting to see how we get on, how we cope with it. And no doubt that it'll be successful. The more games, the better, I think, from our point of view in it.
Yeah, it was brilliant to see as well the likes of Fossa going on to win the Junior All-Ireland, Ratmore with the Intermediate All-Ireland, and Kieran's Ratleys as well in the All-Ireland semi-final. So it shows the strength within Kerry club football as well.
Yeah, no, look at that. Yeah, obviously the Ratmore and Fossa had two great wins last weekend. Obviously, Ratleys were unfortunate to get over to Limerick Probes. But we're very, very close. Look, it's a great competition. I suppose the Kerry competitions are always great. There's huge competition there in the club championships in particular, and the common championships as well. But yeah, no, look, it's great to see. I suppose the Ratmore and Fossa aren't too far away from me, so it's great to see that they're going on and being successful in Croke Park.
Yeah, I think in particular the Fossa win sort of captured the attention of the nation because of David Clifford and Páidi Clifford and playing junior football and, you know, going on to win the All-Ireland with their club after the year they've had. It was quite a special one to watch on. Yeah,
I know. As I say, I wouldn't say Fossa are a small club, but they're probably a small community, and they're a coming community, a common club as well. And obviously they've worked very hard over the Christmas. Obviously the two boys missed the team holiday to be there with their club and to get the club over the line. And look, as I said, I was with my own club there in 2017 when we won the All-Ireland club. And look, they're very, very special, hugely special to win something of that magnitude for the people that you've grown up with, and I suppose for the coaches and managers that have coached you all the way up since you were a small young fella out on the pitch kicking ball with under sixes, under sevens, or what it is. So yeah, no, look, I suppose they're still celebrating, and I don't blame them. They're very, very special times. I've been lucky enough to be there myself. I'd love to go back there again.
And you mentioned the team holiday there. Did you get to go on it?
I did. Yeah, we went there at I went there at the start of December. So we had a hectic September. We went over to Dubai and Mauritius. So we were gone. I say we were gone just under 2 weeks. Straight back into Christmas then we came back. So no, it was an enjoyable December, all right.
And how many of you got to go in the end? Because there was so many, I suppose, playing club football too.
There was still a good shot of us, in fairness. I'd say there was the bones of 50 people there, I suppose, in total. Obviously you had the club that couldn't go, and you'd one or two that couldn't get off work or just weren't able to go for whatever reasons. But no, there was a good chunk of us that were able to go, and we really enjoyed it.
The other news then coming out of Kerry, I suppose, since yesterday was that David Moran retired from county football. He debuted back in 2008, 2 All-Stars, 3 All-Ireland winners' medals. So he's going to be a massive loss as well to the squad.
Yeah, I didn't actually realise until yesterday that he played 15 years for Kerry, which is absolutely incredible. To play for that long and to be such a leader for that length of period is a credit to him. It's a credit to his family and his club. Yeah, no, look, I would have grown close to David, I suppose, over the last couple of years. I would have sent him a thank you message yesterday. I suppose when I first came into the Kerry squad, he was one of the first to kind of take me under his wing, and he guided me along the way to be successful and to be where I am at the moment. So I have huge thanks towards him. Massive leader inside the Kerry dressing room. Obviously will be a huge loss. I suppose he's known for his kickouts and Northern kickouts around the middle of the field, but he was so much more than that. Massive leader and absolute gentleman man as well. So yeah, no, look, he'll be sorely lost inside the dressing room, but look, it's a chance for someone to step up in his boots as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just watching him for his club, Kieran Zarahally's in Croke Park 2 weekends ago, he was just unbelievable. And you nearly thought, oh, he'll definitely be back again for another year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had the same feeling. So I was gutted yesterday when I saw the message, but yeah, no, look, I suppose he'll look back on his Kerry memories and his last Kerry memories up in the Hogan stand with Sam McGuire on his right hand and his son in his left arm. So look, that's a great memory to have. And look, as I say, he's a young son. He's another kid on the way shortly. So, and he's probably heavy at work as well. So look, I'm sure he's happy with what he's got at the moment.
Yeah, brilliant. And is there any new faces in around the Kerry setup?
There's a couple now. Yeah, there's a couple kind of in and out. I suppose naturally when your players going out and there's players injured, it's kind of there's a few new lads coming in from the Connacht Championship and stuff. So yeah, as I say, look, people come and go. That's the way inter-county players work, or inter-county setups work. It's just what if those new people now can grab it, because there's a big step up from club football to county football, and I have no doubt there will be a few these guys over the next couple of months and couple of years.
Yeah, and how important is it now to go on and I suppose hope to back up what you did last year?
Yeah, look, that's the big challenge. Like anyone over the country, I suppose the red target on our back now, obviously because we won it last year. And look, that's the challenge. I suppose if you ask any county player around the country, it's all about the challenge and what comes next. And we're looking forward to it. As you say, we've Donegal the weekend, a very, very hard test above there in Donegal and Ballybuffet. And we've some very hard tests as well in the league, Moran in the following week. So no, look, it will take a week by week. Obviously, the challenge is to be thereabouts at the very end of the season. Hopefully, we'll be. But there's an awful lot of work to do between here and then.
Yeah, and I'm sure for you at the minute you're just focused on getting fully fit, getting back in there at this moment in time. But if you looked at the weekend, Glen and Kilmacud in the club championship, I don't know if you've been following the madness that's gone on with it since.
Yeah, I watched the game. And was kind of oblivious to what actually happened after the game. And I suppose in the last 24 hours, it's kind of really kind of shook the nation a small bit, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know what to make of it. To tell you the truth, if will be replayed or not, I don't know. It's an unusual one.
It is. It really is.
Both camps are probably in an unusual state at the moment. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I'm not sure what's going to happen, to tell you the truth.
It is a difficult one. It's hard to know because I think even I was there reporting on the game and we didn't realise till afterwards that there was the 16th, 17th man on the pitch. But for you as players, like at this moment in time, Kilmacud are unsure, have they fully won? Then you have Glen at the other hand, they have to make a decision. It's a horrible place as players to be in.
Oh, it is, of course, yeah, absolutely it is. As we say, I'm sure that the Kilmacud lads are out enjoying themselves Sunday night and Monday and then to see this. I don't know what way I'd be in if I was in that position. I wouldn't like to be in a position like that. But look, I don't really know what to say about the matter. It's so new and we haven't seen it before. I think it might happen maybe 10 or 20 years ago or some inter-county game. But yeah, as to what's going to happen, I have no clue. And I wouldn't like to be in either camp, to tell you the truth.
No, it's a difficult one, that's for sure. And the Comórtas Páidi O'Shea, it's always a special time down in Ventry and Dingle. I was down last year with my club and it's absolutely brilliant. So it is. I know there's loads of clubs going down this year. Have you ever been able to play in it? Probably not if you're playing county. You probably have never got the chance, have you?
Unfortunately not. No, I haven't. But no, I can only imagine it's a great tournament. I've been down in Dingle plenty of times and it's a great place to be. I suppose obviously with the football thing, you probably share down below as well. So I've no doubt it's going to be a fantastic weekend. I'd love to be playing this, but unfortunately I'll be up to other things.
Yeah. So do you have maybe some rehab and stuff like that? Or do you go to the game in Donegal, or what happens there?
I probably won't go up now at all. I suppose I'll be down in Kerry doing my own rehab and doing my own kind of recovery stuff. Hoping to get back in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, look, I'd love to be making the trek up, even though it's a long trek up. I'd love to be going up and representing Kerry in the first round league. But look, that's the way sport is. There's plenty highs and lows, and so I just have to accept that now.
Yeah, and you'll be back in no time. Well, Gavin, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks very much.